All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. In today's video, we are looking at a grade 11 interpenetration and development question. Looking at our question, we are given the incomplete front view and the top view of a regular square prism that has been shaped to fit around a right regular hexagonal prism. Okay, meaning if this is our square prism and this is our hexagonal prism, this one will be main pipe and square prism will be branch pipe. Okay, both of the prisms are solid and can be considered as a casting. The axes of both prisms lie in a common vertical plane. Okay, common vertical plane. One thing you need to understand is that your front view is horizontal plane and then your top view is vertical plane. Okay, and you can see that the center of your hexagonal prism and the center of your square prism lie in a common vertical plane, which is here. And then the auxiliary view of a square prism, which is here, the starting position of point O on the drawing sheet, which is here. Okay, so you are also instructed to draw to scale 1:1 the following views: the given top view, complete front view showing the curve of interpenetration, and the left view. While we are still there, since well interpenetration falls under first angle orthographic projection, front view will always be above top view, right view will be on left, left will be on right. Okay, since now you can see here in my drawing, this is my top. I've already constructed it. My 45-degree angle line is in here, and then this side will be my left. Here on this side it will be my front view. Okay, and then you also need to develop the surface of the hexagonal prism, showing the point of interpenetration of the square prism clearly, using point A to be as the start position. Also, you need to develop the surface of the square prism. Okay, meaning here on this drawing you will have two developments. Use point S as the start position. Show all hidden detail and fold lines. And also planning is very important, ladies and gentlemen. Planning is very important. Okay, looking here at our given, here is our top, this is our front, this is the auxiliary view. Here on our front, we can see that we are given a height of the hexagonal prism, and then we're also given a distance from the center line, from the XY to the center of our square prism, which is 31, and then we are given a side length of 30. Okay, as I've said, planning is very important. Now that I know that my side length will be 30 on my hexagonal prism, I take my compass, set it to 30 measurement, and then construct my full circle. Okay, here's my full circle. And then on this full circle, I now know that one of my 2 points will be on my center line, which is this one here. You can see from here. This is my center line. Okay, and then since well one of my point will be here, I'm going to construct an arc on the circumference of the circle standing on that point, and then standing also on this point, I'm constructing an arc. Then I join all my points. Okay, not forgetting to label from A, B, C until again F. Okay, and then now what I will need to do is that I have created my XY lines, X, Y, X, Y. What I will need to do now is that I will need to construct all my points from my top to the top, also these ones, and then I can now take my measuring ruler and measure 60, 62. Okay, on this line from 0, 62. Okay, this is 60, 60, 61, 62. 62 will be here. And then on that 62, I know that that is my height for my hexagonal prism. Okay. And then I will also need to construct all my points to my left hand side. I mean right hand side, which is my left view. And then as soon as it touches my 45 angle, I construct them to the top vertically, so not forgetting to come with my center line, because it is the one that is going to help me get my square prism on my left. And then now, since well they have told me that here on my center line from my XY the measurement is 31, okay, so I can take my measuring rule and measure 31 here, okay, from XY this is 31 here. On this 31 here, I can just do a construction line. And then also they gave me a measurement from this point to the outer line, which is 44, okay, meaning I can measure from my center line 44 until here. Okay, now I know that somewhere here this is where my square prism will end, on this line of 44, okay. And then I know that I can start with my auxiliary view from here using an angle of 45, okay. One thing that we can do, because I can see that on this side I don't have space, because they give you a measurement of 37 as your side length on your square prism, and then you have a center here on your right. One thing you can do is that you can say 37 divided by 2, it will give you 18,5, and then on that 18,5 you set your compass to 18,5, which is that one, and then you come here on your center line, you construct your full circle, okay. And then on this full circle, what you will need to do is that you will need to use your 45-degree compass, because your square prism is at an angle of 45. Come here, then you make sure that your line that you are going to construct touches the circumference of the circle. Just make sure that it touches the circumference of the circle. And then also on this side. And then once again on this side. Okay. And then now you have your square prism on your left view. What you will need to do now is that you will need to complete your hexagonal prism, and not forgetting to label. If this is D1, this will be C1, E1, C, E, and then this one will be B1, F1, and then here we have B, F, then the last one is A. So one thing you need to do is you need to use your solid lines, okay. And then from here we are going to use our solid line from here until here, and also from here until here, also here, and then we are going to use it on line D, okay. Then you can quickly finish your hexagonal prism, okay. Then one thing that you need to do is that you need to construct your square prism. Let's label this S. Actually, let's start with S, T, U, and V, okay. You need to construct all these points to our 45-degree angle, and then as soon as it touches our 45-degree, we construct them back to our top view, okay. Here it will be S and U, okay, because they are on this line. And then as soon as it touches there, I'm saying we can take them to our front view. Also here we take them to our top view, okay. And then here it will be point T, point V, Okay, then also from here you know that this is U, and then here it will be T and V, and then here it will be S. Okay, so we also need to complete our hexagonal prism on our front view. Okay, also need to finish our hexagonal prism on our front view here using our solid lens. And also this one is going to be solid. Okay. Then not forgetting to label, this is D, E and F, then this is B and C. Then you need to complete our square prism on the side with a solid line. Then we are done with the given views. Okay, one thing that we will need to do now is that we will need to complete our front view showing the curve of interpenetration. Okay, showing the curve of interpenetration, we will need to show how long T is interpenetrating until our hexagonal prism, and how long S and U are interpenetrating, and how long V is interpenetrating. Okay, so what we will need to do is that from our top view we will construct until where our T is interpenetrating, which is from here until here. Okay, then we can see that T is interpenetrating from here until there, and then also S and U are interpenetrating until here, which is on line B and C, which is here. S also U, and then T and V are interpenetrating until here. Okay, so T and V are interpenetrating until here, and then what we can see is that from S to T we don't just come straight, we come across line B, which is this line. Okay, so coming on our left, constructing this line, meaning before we can come here we need to move from here to here. Okay, and then from here to here, that's when you can come to S. You see, and then and as we reach T, from T we are moving to U, meaning from here we need to come here, but before you come here we come across also line B, and then we need to construct that line B until where it meets line B here on our front view, which is here. Meaning when you come here you come on this line, which is B. Okay, and then that's when you can come to U. Okay, and now we are done with our incomplete front view. Okay, this is our incomplete front view. So one thing that you will need to do now, actually two things, is that the development of our hexagonal prism. Okay, so first thing first, you need to construct your horizontal line here starting from A going all the way until somewhere here. And then one thing you need to know and understand is that every time when you are dealing with development, we are using our true length. Okay, and we get our true length from our top and also from our side views. Okay, and then the true length here will be this side length. And since well I know that one side length, which is 8, represent all the side length. Okay, meaning from A I'm going to move to B with 30, C, D, E, F, and A again. Okay, A, B, C, D, E, F, and A again. So I will need to label. And then that one, from all those points I can construct my horizontal lines. Okay, and then from here, for me to get my height, I have to come on my right view. Okay, because now I know that my height is 62. I can take my measuring ruler and come here and measure 62. My 62 will be here. Okay, and then if that's 62, yeah, and then now I can develop the surface of the hexagonal prism starting from A. From A and D. Okay, let me say A here. Okay, from A and D, from A here moving to B, I come across T, which is here. Okay, T. So from A, I need to take this distance from A until here. Okay, and then this distance is the one that I'm going to feature on my development from A until here, and then I construct my line vertical upwards, and then on this line I come here and fetch this point, which is point T. Okay, on this line, point T, and then feature it here. Okay, and then from here, that's when I can go to B. Okay, and then on B you can see that I have this 2 points here. This is B here. Okay, B is in front of F. F is at the back, okay? And B and F are on the same line. Okay, and then when I reach B, I have these 2 points, meaning on this line, which is B, I will have to collect these two points, which is 1, and feature it here at B, and then also another one at the top. Okay, I now have my 2 points, and then before I reach point C, I come across S and U. Okay, before I reach C, I come across S and U. I take that distance and feature it between B approaching C. Okay, and then when I'm done, I construct my vertical line. Then on this line, you can see that I have these 2 points, which is S and U here. Okay, so I will need to take this measurement from here, then feature it on this line. Then also I need to take this measurement. Okay, now I have my 5 points. From here, I can now go to C, which is from here. I can now move to line C, okay, which is this one here. And then on this line, I can see that I also have these 2 points, which is here, where my square prism is interpenetrating here. Okay, so on this line C, I will need to take this measurement and feature it on C, and then also the one at the top, and feature it on line C. And then I can now move to line T, L, this is line V, T, S, U, V. And then on V, I have this distance here from C approaching D. I take this distance until V, then C approaching D, take that distance, construct my vertical line, and then on that vertical line, I take this distance of V, which is from my XY line, to V. Okay. Then I can now move from here to D, which is from here to D. Okay, now with all those points, I can now join them using my set square. Okay, this is how you join all your points. And not forgetting your fold lines. Where are your fold lines? Which is the one that we labeled A and A, B until here, and from here until here. Then also C until here and until here. And you can see that C is folding from here until here and also from here until here. You see, whatever that you develop must align with your right view. Okay, I mean your left view. Whatever that you develop here must align with your left view. And then now you are done with the square prism. Okay, then coming here on developing the square prism, not the hexagonal prism. This one is the hexagonal prism. Coming here, developing the square prism, you need to extend this line, and then you need to take the measurement of your true length, which is I either said on your top view or on your side view. Okay, this is the true length of your square prism. Okay, then I can measure from S till here, then also until here, then also until here, S, T, U, V, and again S. Then we come label them. This is S, T, U, V, and we have S again. Okay, while we have those points, we can construct our horizontal lines here. We can construct a horizontal line, also a horizontal line, a horizontal line also here, and S. Okay, so now you will need to check your right view, that from S going to T. Okay, from S going to T, we don't just go straight, we come across line BF, which is this one. Okay, from S we don't just go to T, we come across line B, which is here. Okay, so now you will need to take this measurement here from S approaching T. Take this measurement and feature it here, S approaching T. Okay, and then once you have that point, you can name it S1. Okay, this is S1. Let's say this is S1, and then S1 is here. Okay, now how long is our S interpenetrating, which is this one? S is interpenetrating from here until here. Okay, which is from here until here, and then from S moving to T, we come across S1, which is this one. S1 is also interpenetrating from here until here, the same distance. Okay, and then from here, that's when we can come to T, which is this one. Okay, and then T is interpenetrating from here until here. You see, then you come on T, interpenetrating from here until here, and then from T going to U, we come across also line B. Okay, so we also need this distance here from T here, and then stand here on T, construct our horizontal line there, and then on that horizontal line we check on our front view how long is that line interpenetrating here, which is from here until here. So moving from T, we come on line B again, which is this one, and then from that line B, that's when you can go to U, which is this distance is the same as this one. Meaning this distance here, it is the same as this distance. Okay, so now moving from here we are going, which is B, that one can go to U. Okay, and U is interpenetrating until U is interpenetrating from here also until here, which is the same measurement. Okay, that's when we move from here to here. Okay, and then from U we need to go to V, and while moving to V we can see that we come across line C, which is this one. V, which is now we are at U moving to V, we are at here, then we need to move there. Okay, we come across C first, then we can now go to V. Okay, from here we come across this one here, so you will need to take that distance also here, this distance from you until here, and feature it here. Okay, and then now you can understand that this distance here, it is this distance. Okay, and then you construct your horizontal line on that distance. After constructing your horizontal line, you take this measurement from here to check how long is it interpenetrating. Okay, the same distance as the previous ones, and then from here that's when you can go to V, which is from here you can come to line V. Okay, then on line V we can check that V is interpenetrating from here until here. Then we come on line V, make our point. Okay, and then now we can also check that from V we don't just go straight to S, we come across line C again, which is from V we come again at S. We are coming backward. From here we come across C, and then we come across S. Okay, from V we come across line C, and then that's when you can get to S. Okay, so from V you can get that distance, this distance, and then from V approaching S, and then on that point you got, you need to construct your horizontal line also, and then come here, which is from V going to S, you come across line C. You need to trace that line C on your front view, and then come here on your development, make your point, and then also point S, the same distance. Okay, and then now you can use your solid lines to connect all of them. Use your solid lines. Okay, and then don't forget the instruction said you must show all hidden details and show all fold lines. So your fold lines will be S, T, U, and V. Okay, T will be a fold line, U will also be a fold line, V will also be a fold line, and lastly S. Okay, and then when you are done, you just leave your drawing just like that. And please, if you found this video very helpful for you, don't forget to share and don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you for your time and watching.